Hey guys, and welcome back to the Daily Pr1me. My name is Dr. Checkers, and just wanted to cover the topic, what type of shoes should I be wearing? So I actually went to the shoe store this past weekend, first time in what is really too long to be waiting in between grabbing shoes, and it just really hit me, in this time right now, all the shoes are made almost what seems like exclusively for fashion. I'm specifically talking about the Nikes, and I'm not, just technically throwing them underneath the bus. It's just shoemakers in general seem to be really aiming everything at a much more stylish and comfy type of shoe, which isn't all bad in itself. But what I can tell you is that the durability, the stability that shoes seem to provide nowadays seem to be pretty significantly lacking. You probably know what I'm talking about. A lot of those shoes have like a lot of cloth on top, and there's all the give in the world. If you can grab a shoe and if you can really twist it without much resistance, like a wet towel, and it just rolls underneath it, it tells us that that shoe doesn't provide a lot of stability, and that's the type of shoe that seems to be very vast, and it seems like that's the type of shoe that's being made nowadays. Now the problem is, more than not, people have a problem with their foot because it's flat-footed. The inside of their arch is like touching the ground. You know who you are if you have that. And it's tough for you because your shoe needs to be a lot more stable. It needs to provide inert stability to your foot. Now, but if you like the fashionable Nike shoe that is very cloth-like and soft, it might look good and it might even feel comfy, but the reality is, if you stand on that shoe, if you stand all day, if you find your work requires you to stand all day or walk a lot, it's a good chance that you could feel some discomfort, some tightnesses. It might just feel like your foot's exhausted at the end of the night. So if you get that type of nice soft shoe, I would strongly encourage you to go get just an everyday orthotic. It could be Dr. Scholl's or just something over the counter. Make sure you could slide that inside the shoe so that your foot still feels very comfortable. It's incredibly important for an orthotic to feel comfortable. If it feels like it's pushing on something, if it just generally doesn't feel good, chances are you're not going to really like that after you've been standing on your foot for 8 or 10 hours or whatever that long day looks like. So if you do want to get a comfortable shoe and it bends a lot and you've got a flat foot, just make sure you get an over-the-counter orthotic. There's actually no benefit per research that an expensive, customizable $300 to $400 orthotic will do you any better than just an over-the-counter Dr. Scholl's that has good inner support that feels comfortable. Now, for those of you conversely in the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got a really high arch, and it might even feel really rigid. Your arch sits well away from the ground, and it just stays there. So for you, your comfortable Nike shoes that bend a lot, it's actually probably a good thing, because it kind of creates that space and that opportunity for the inside of the arch to move more. And a lot of times those who have a really big arch, they actually have more pain on the inside of their arch because their foot's not moving at all. And they might have a shoe that's too stiff. So if you have a high arch, feel free to allow the foot to kind of move more, and that flexible shoe gives it that freedom. Last question, I guess, how often should I change shoes? I kind of like 3 to 6 months, especially if you're on your feet a lot. If you just tend to find yourself sitting in office space, you really don't put much wear and tear on them at all, I bet you could probably get a year out of it. But for those of you that are up and on your feet a lot, especially for my runners out there who are putting their feet through a lot of work, I would probably shoot closer to 3 months. Let me know if that makes sense. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Take care.